If your relationship is in trouble, you're probably trying to figure out how to save it. And at the same time that you really want to make things better, you're probably also wondering whether it's actually going to work, right? Kind of this back and forth of I want to work on my relationship, but I don't know, it's not so great, and I'm not sure if it's actually going to last. Okay. I'm Poonam Sharma from Strong Women, Strong Love, and today I want to talk to you briefly about the type of mindset that's required to actually get into a space where you can actually work on your relationship. Okay. What I find is that most of the time when people are working on their relationship, there's really a lot of ambivalence there. There's kind of sitting on the fence about, I don't know, it might work, it might not work. I mean, you might even find yourself, weighing the pros and cons. What I know is that when people go into a relationship, when they get married, they make a commitment that most of the time people really mean what they say when they say I do, or for better or for worse, or whatever your vows may have been. And that it's actually very heartbreaking when the relationship starts to struggle and that ambivalence starts to creep in. Okay. And, life gets frustrating. You get disappointed in your husband at times, and you may even question, did I really marry the right man? Like, what am I doing here in this relationship? Especially when you look around at other people who look really happy. Okay. So it's not unusual to end up in a place where you're feeling ambivalent, where you're sitting on the fence. Okay. What I'm going to say to you today, though, is that that mindset is actually really, really dangerous. And the reason why it's dangerous is that in a relationship, there really is no neutral. Okay. A relationship is like a living thing, and you're either helping it or you're hurting it. You're either working on making it better or you're actually doing something that makes it worse. Okay. And being on the fence is not a neutral place. Okay. Sitting and questioning all the time, whether this thing can work or not is not neutral. It's actually something that will damage your relationship. Okay. There's nothing wrong with objectively saying, hey, we've got some stuff to work on. But if in your heart you're really not sure if this can work, you actually may be setting things up to fail, okay, if you're not careful. So what I'm going to tell you is that if you really want to work on your relationship, what I suggest most people do that come in to see me is to really make a commitment to being fully in the relationship for a certain amount of time. Okay, so I think of it as locking all the doors. Okay, so if I want to work on my marriage and I feel like I can commit to a month of doing that, like wholeheartedly throwing myself into it, then that's the commitment that I make. So for the next month, I'm going to be all in. I'm going to do everything I can to make this marriage better. I'm going to do everything I can to show up in a way that's loving and lets my partner know that I actually, want to be with him. Okay. Now, for each person, that time frame is going to be different. And the more frustrated you are, or the worse things are in your relationship, you may not be able to commit to more than a few days. I don't know. If it gets that bad, actually, you might want to go seek some counseling from somebody. But you decide what that time frame is so that you are clearly on the side of helping the relationship, and give it your all. And if it's not working, certainly seek out help if you need to, or recommit to another window of time where you can keep plugging away at it. Okay, but you can just remember, you can always open the doors to a relationship. It's not like yes, you're legally bound to each other if you're married, but there's no one really trapping you in that relationship. You have the key always in your pocket. And I guess what I'm saying is that if you're trying to see if this thing can work, though, put the key away for a while. Okay, put the key away. And if it's really not working, even if though you're trying your best, maybe even sought out help from outside, sometimes it is okay to open the door and get out, especially if the relationship is not a very healthy one at all. But while you're trying, and I'm going to tell you that the mindset that's necessary is really to recommit to the relationship, commit in the way that you did at the very beginning for whatever amount of time you can, and just give it your all. Okay. If you'd like to learn some more about how to make your relationship better, please check out my website, strongwomenstronglove.com. Thanks.